Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Film Talk. My name is Will Braunlich, and this show covers everything, from movies to TV shows and editorials. Today, we'll go over a movie by a filmmaker that's becoming more and more popular, as well as a movie that just hit theaters and is the latest addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We will cover The Northmen and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Let's start with The Northmen. Here is my reaction for the trailer. All right, let's take a look at The Northmen. Jeez.
Now, behold.
That's pretty nice.
He's here. He's here.
I feel like I've seen that kid before.
Mother! Father is here! The king, my lady. The king.
There's Nicole Kidman.
Your fate is set and you cannot escape it.
Remember who you are. I can't help but make that joke.
How I've missed you, my son. One day this kingdom will be yours.
Thank you, Father. My king.
Well, that escalated quickly. That's a little bit creepy, I will admit.
I will avenge you, Father! I will save you, Mother! I will kill you, Fiona!
I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fiona.
I like how they cut to each character that he mentions. I thought that was pretty cool.
Why would he stow away to such a hellish place?
To find what was stolen from me.
And what is that?
The kingdom. You must choose between kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies.
Your strength
Maybe both?
breaks men's bones. I have the cunning to break their minds.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot right there.
We will carry out my pledge of vengeance. I will avenge you, father.
I will avenge you, Father.
Okay, that's kind of defying logic a little bit, but sure, I'll believe it.
I will kill you, Fiona.
All right, so it's edited from visionary director Robert Eggers, and it's true, he is a visionary director. He's done great with The Witch, and it seems like The Witch, this movie seems to have some pretty heavy dialogue, some thick accents, but that I don't mind as long as the dialogue, makes sense. And it seems pretty basic. It almost seems like Hamlet or The Lion King, whichever one you want to use. I liked all the imagery in there. It's beautiful to look at. I mean, a lot of Robert Eggers' movies have been gorgeous to look at. I think he also directed another scary project, a short film of The Telltale Heart. I like Alexander Skarsgard. I like Willem Dafoe. There seems to have quite a bit of a cast in here. And it seems like the more Robert Eggers does work, then the more people he can recruit onto his projects. Like I said, you have Alexander Skarsgard, you have Nicole Kidman, you have Ethan Hawke, you have Anya Taylor-Joy, who is in The Witch and in a bunch of other big projects as well. I remember her first being introduced to her through Split, which I thought was surprisingly good, and being followed by Glass after that. And I like Willem Dafoe. He was fantastic in the Spider-Man trilogy, or the first Spider-Man. Yeah, this looks really interesting. I would like to see what this is like, and and I'll let you know what I think. The Northman is directed by Robert Eggers and stars Alexander Skarsgard, Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang, Ethan Hawke, and Anya Taylor-Joy, as this follows a Viking prince named Amleth as he goes on a journey to avenge his father's murder. Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? Robert Eggers, as stated before, is growing his resume more as he's done other movies more in the horror genre, like The Witch and The Lighthouse, both of which are really good and very underrated, and I do recommend checking them out. Alexander Skarsgard plays the lead of Amleth, as he has done other work, like the lead role in The Legend of Tarzan, Big Little Lies, and True Blood. Nicole Kidman is known for being in Moulin Rouge, Aquaman, Paddington, Cold Mountain, and Rabbit Hole. Ethan Hawke is mostly known for Training Day, Before Sunrise, Before Midnight, and Boyhood. Anya Taylor-Joy was in another Robert Eggers project, The Witch, as well as The New Mutants, Morgan, and the surprised M. Night Shyamalan hit Split. We even have Willem Dafoe in this movie, as he's known for his roles in Spider-Man, The Lighthouse, and The Florida Project. I just want to say that this movie ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I can basically sum it up without spoiling, is that it's Hamlet but with Vikings. And yes, it is that awesome. Robert Eggers proves once again why he is a great visual storyteller, as he's known for giving us some great imagery and symbolism. He's done it before in other movies. While we are discussing it, let's discuss the visuals in this movie. This honestly has to be one of the best looking movies I have seen not only this year, but possibly ever. You have Jarin Blask doing the cinematography, as he did it for The Witch and The Lighthouse, and it proves time and time again why him and Eggers proved to be quite the dominant duo. The script was very well done. It captures the essence and lore of what made the Norse times unique and different compared to others. Some people might criticize how they wished the characters were a little bit more relatable, but I didn't think that was really needed. If anything, I like how the characters were portrayed. This movie doesn't waste too much time in getting the plot going, and there didn't seem to be a part of the script that I think I would change. There were different twists added to the overall plot that really drove the movie forward and is enough to keep you invested. This is in fact Robert Eggers' longest movie yet, with a runtime of 2 hours and 17 minutes. The chemistry between the characters were top-notch, especially between Amleth and Anya Taylor-Joy's character Olga. We even see what the relationship is like between Amleth and his father, and the rest of his family. As stated before, they're not supposed to be relatable in modern standards, they're relatable in their own unique way. This movie had a plenty amount of heartbreak, betrayal, and the dialogue is what really sold it. I especially liked whenever Nicole Kidman is on screen. She delivers each time, and I personally hope she gets nominated for an Oscar. Same for Anya Taylor-Joy. She delivered a tremendous performance as well. The story was simple and very effective. It's a revenge story, but at the same time there's also conflict with the characters, where they have to stop and question, is all this really worth it? It also helps by being followed with a ton of action. There isn't a battle every scene since we need to make time for the dialogue. I feel like if it was just the action, then people would most likely lose interest pretty quickly. I feel kind of the same way when I saw The Batman. If it was about 90% action, then it kind of takes away of what really makes the character. Overall, I thought this movie blew my expectations out of the water. I think this is what makes modern cinema. I don't think it's as good as The Lighthouse, but I think this is really close. While the story remains simple and appears to take elements from a popular source material, whether it's intentional or not, it really helps advance the plot. It doesn't waste time in getting started. The action scenes are brutal but epic to watch. The music is powerful. The scenery is gorgeous. It almost seems like we've entered a movie like Lord of the Rings. I'm hoping to watch this more and more again. My grade for The Northman shall be an A. I recommend seeing this movie on the biggest screen possible because this movie is a spectacle. And not just scenery, but the sound and an overall feel. They are going on this grand and epic adventure. When we come back, we'll take a look at the newest addition into the MCU, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Real Film Talk. My name is Will Braunlich, and here's part 2 of our reviews for today. Next, we'll take a look at a movie that brings up so many possibilities that I won't go into spoilers, but this is a movie I personally found enjoyable. let's talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Here's my reaction for the trailer. All right, now we're gonna take a look at the trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Fingers crossed.
Every night, I dream the same dream. And then,
Did we just enter a horror movie?
the nightmare begins.
I did what I had to do
It was the only way.
to protect our world.
You cannot control everything, Strange.
It's true, we can't.
You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it. Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Stephen.
There he is.
Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished.
We should tell him the truth.
Maybe. Maybe. Possible appearance.
Things just got out of hand.
There's the evil Strange, I guess.
You break the rules
Look out!
to become a hero.
Looks like the
I
Doctor
do
Strange
it,
from
I
the
become
comics.
enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
Okay. So, I liked it. I'm invested. But there's one small problem. I feel like for this trailer, they gave away too much, and that's always been a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, is when the more trailers that come out, then the more they just give away. But this is the first trailer that came out. It's not the teaser trailer, it's the first full-length trailer. This is 2 minutes and 16 seconds. But I already feel like I have a feeling of what the movie is going to be like. I mean, to be honest, I liked the first Doctor Strange. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I think this is possibly going to be better than the first one. I mean, I like Benedict Cumberbatch, I like Elizabeth Olsen, I like Benedict Wong. Oh man. Yeah, because by looking at this trailer, it seems like they're opening the door to many possibilities. It looked like we might have a surprise appearance in this movie. I won't give anything away. But this looks entertaining. That pretty much is what I have to say. I like that Sam Raimi is coming back to direct or not Spider-Man movie, but a comic book movie, and it seems like he is putting some horror elements into this, because he has directed the Evil Dead movies, the earlier Evil Dead movies. So I'm curious to see what this is like, and hopefully this ends up living up to my expectations or the expectations of others. And that's about it. I will let you know what I think. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is directed by Sam Raimi and stars Benedict Cumberbatch, once again reprising his role as Dr. Stephen Strange. as well as Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, as in this movie, Doctor Strange comes across a teenage girl who's being chased by an ancient evil that wants her power. Sam Raimi comes back doing comic book movies as he did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, as well as the Evil Dead movies. Benedict Cumberbatch, before doing this role, he also had roles in Star Trek Into Darkness and The Imitation Game. Elizabeth Olsen is well known for her role as Wanda, but was also in a movie called Wind River, which coincidentally stars another MCU actor, Jeremy Renner. I will say, I didn't think this was as good as No Way Home in terms of introducing this idea of the multiverse. However, I do think this is better than the first Doctor Strange. The writing gets a little bit of backlash as it's showing that Marvel is kind of bending their own rules, which I actually didn't mind. I was open to all these new possibilities and what this movie had to offer. To be honest, I didn't know Sam Raimi directed this movie. And throughout the whole movie, I kind of thought to myself, this feels an awful lot like a Raimi movie. And funny enough, when the credits rolled and his name popped up, I was like, there we go. Now, like most Sam Raimi's movies, the writing can be a little hokey from time to time, and that is probably my biggest criticism of the movie. However, that brings up something I think is worth mentioning to anyone who has interest in watching this. And that is, some people might be asking, what do I need to know in order to understand this movie fully? Do I need to watch WandaVision? Do I need to watch No Way Home? Do I need to watch Loki? My best advice is to watch WandaVision. If your memory is a little bit fuzzy, rewatch it again, and then go see Doctor Strange. Then everything will start to click, and you start to get a full idea of what is happening. The chemistry between the characters were great. Cumberbatch always delivers as Strange. However, Olsen, I personally feel, steals the show. The way they work off of each other is spectacular. We get to see their characters truly evolve, and we learn their motivations and what they truly desire. I also liked the connection between Strange and the girl he's looking after. I don't know much about her character, if she's canon in the comics, but after seeing this movie, I would very much like to see more of her in future projects. She's snarky, but innocent, and you can buy her as a teenager, and we learn more about her, and we get an idea why she's so important to the plot. The story made sense, however, I feel like this was a more basic layout in terms of story. This movie also seems like to play out in a horror movie at times. If you want to bring your kid to see it, just a heads up, there may be some imagery that's haunting and kind of scary to look at. I will say there could be ideas I wish were either expanded more or were done a little bit better, but I was overall satisfied with what was given and what the movie was trying to achieve. There's even some surprises spread throughout this movie that opens the door to other possibilities for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness isn't as big as other Marvel projects have been in recent memory, it still serves as a solid and effective addition. Olsen delivering a great performance, the special effects done great. One of the people behind the visual effects also was behind the art department in other big budget productions, like Transformers: The Last Knight, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. You also got Danny Elfman doing the music, and he's brought us some iconic music like from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Batman, and ironically, the Spider-Man trilogy. I like this movie for what it was, and I hope to see more. My grade for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be a B+. Right now, this movie is doing pretty well in theaters, and as stated before, I recommend watching WandaVision before seeing this, so there's no confusion. And now it's time for Cinema Milestones, while we take a look at the anniversaries of some popular movies. You ready for some nostalgia? Coming May 25th is the 10-year anniversary of Men in Black 3. And also on May 25th gives us the 15-year anniversary of Pirates of the Caribbean: At World's End. May 16th marks 20 years since Star Wars: Attack of the Clones hit theaters. May 23rd will be 25 years since The Lost World: Jurassic Park went into theaters. And we're going to jump a little forward, as May 21st and 28th are the 40-year anniversaries of Annie and Rocky 3. Now for the real kicker. Are you ready for this? I mean, are you really ready for this? Okay? You've been warned. May 25th will be 45 years since Star Wars: A New Hope was released and was the beginning of a global franchise. That does it for this episode of Real Film Talk. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Will Braunlich, and I will see you at the movies. Save a seat for me.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.